What's going on, loved ones? Grace and peace, and welcome to another episode. You already know what it is. It is the Lunch and Munch meetup. Listen, we do this 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single Tuesday. And look, we done lost count on what episode this is. We just show up every week. We've been showing up every week for almost 2 years now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Just adding value. So listen, if you have not already, if you're new to Lunch and Munch, salute. We welcome you. Do us a huge favor. Click on that subscribe button. Also hit that bell notification so you'll be notified every single time we go live. And join the community. This is a great space. This is the most dangerous virtual lunchroom on the planet. We have great conversations with great people. And this is what our motto and our mission is for the Lunch and Munch. We believe that you can only build, or you can't build anything bigger than you build you. So what we do on a Lunch and Munch is give you all the tools that you need to be able to build the best you possible so you can establish a firm foundation to build your goals, your dreams, your aspirations on. This is what we are here to do, and eliminate every excuse that you could possibly have to living the best life and living the life and achieving the life that we believe that you should have and that you ultimately want to have as well. So listen, welcome. And we've been in our series, What About Your Friends? So this is episode 5 and our final episode of this particular series. And look, we have had a phenomenal time just breaking down and dissecting this intricate thing called friendships, and it being one of the most the most integral and one of the biggest let's say elements and ingredients in our human experience. It was a conversation that we most certainly had to have. So on today's show, we're going to be sharing with you 10 things to not only help you to establish great and healthy relationships, but also how to maintain the relationships or the friendships that you already have. So if you're ready, let's get into the show. Let's bring in my guy. Wayne, what's going on? What's going on,
What's
brother?
going on? What up, lunches? What's going on?
What's going on with you, bro? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. It's time to tap in once again.
Once again, man, one more game, brother.
Yes, sir.
Listen, this series has been absolutely phenomenal, man. I've learned a tremendous amount, bro. And even offline, what we've been talking about, what we've been learning, has been incredible, bro. What is one thing that you're gonna take away from this series, bro? What's one thing you're gonna take away from this series?
Man, so many.
I
Um,
know. I
let me pull a good one, bro.
know.
Um, man, have some. clearly define my standards that
Mm.
I want from friends.
Yeah.
Clearly defining the standards that I would like to see from my friends.
100%,
Yeah.
bro.
Yep.
100%. Yeah,
Yep.
hey, mine has definitely one of the things that I'm going to take away, man, is definitely the necessity of being intentional about friendships, right?
Mm,
Being intentional about friendships, because what I've learned throughout through this series and what we've been learning in our research and studying that we've been doing, man, is that friendships are not just something that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be intentional. You got to be in the game. If you're going to win, if it's going to be something that if you want to win in relationships and you want to have healthy help and do friendships a healthy way, you got to be intentional about it, man.
yeah,
So that's one of that is actually what I'm going to be taking away and not just taking away, but applying moving forward. You feel what I'm saying? So
no
this
doubt.
has been listen, lunches, this has been a blessing to us too. This is absolutely positively being a blessing. We've been learning with every single episode as well. So if you have not watched, if this is your first episode, don't even worry about it. Y'all can go on back here and y'all can binge watch all the other episodes. And this one is going to really kind of be the cherry on top of that cake. So bro, let's hop in.
Let's do it.
Let, let's
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 do it.
let, let's hop in. So shout out to lifehack.com. Shout out to lifehack.com. We came across this article that shares with us 10 things that are really important and foundational to developing relationships, but also maintaining the friendships that you already have, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna share with you the 10, and we're just gonna kind of break them down because we think that it's going to be extremely important, or it's going to be a great way to kind of go ahead and put the finishing touches on such a powerful series. So, bro, the first one that we have here is the first one that we have is make time to connect. Make time to connect. And I think, man, we don't do that often enough. And it's very, very important that we do make time to connect. And what I love about it is it's not talking about, like, you might be like, oh, as a friend you connect, but nah, not necessarily. What it's talking about is being a lot more, again, intentional about actually carving out time to spend specifically with your friend, undistracted, right? Undistracted, without oh my gosh, hold on. Yes. Sorry, with undistracted, without giving without checking text messages, without checking emails, without doing any of those things, but actually making it a point to be quiet and be and what the article says, bro, is being a listening ear, being totally present and being a listening ear when you're taking that time to connect and being with your friends.
Yeah. So what I would say for me, bro, is that I gotta do a better job when it comes to, I won't say connecting, but devoting that time. You know what I mean? When it's time to lock in with that person, I'm all the way locked in. So I definitely could do a better job at that. But no, that's spot on.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro, is what I tend to see. And I'm guilty of it too. And it was crazy about it, bro, is that if you look at, as I'm like, and I don't know about you, but now what I do is I'm intentional about when like, even when I go out with my wife, right? Have you ever gone into a restaurant, bro, and you look around and everybody's on their phone? Like, everybody's on their phone, bro. It's crazy. And I'm like, yo, like, that hit me. And I'm like, yo, like, the only time that the phone isn't in their hand is when they're eating, right? And I have to be honest with you, bro. Like that right there, that really, 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 like, hit me in the face, because I was like, yo, like, I'm doing that, right? Like, the only time that I'm paying attention, even to my wife when we out, is when I'm eating. and am I really paying attention to it while I'm eating? You know what I'm saying? So the whole time that we should be having a conversation and I should be listening to her and vice versa, I'm on my phone. You know what I'm saying? And then once I actually put my phone away, the only reason why I'm putting my phone away is because I'm eating, but we can't really have an in-depth conversation when I got a mouthful of food. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of disrespectful. So I was like, dag, like that really hit me hard, man. So now, like when I go out and when I go out to eat now or whatever, I make it a point. Even if I go out with if I go out with a friend, like I put my phone, either I put my phone in my pocket, or if I put it on the seat that I'm in, or even if I put it on the table, it's all the way in a corner and it's face down. You know what I'm saying? And I turn the sound off to make sure that I'm not allowing these things to distract me, bro. And so
Yeah.
making time to connect is one way to one create a relationship, right? Develop a relationship, because when you're coming into a relationship and if a person says, yo, like he or she is super um there is focused on our conversation and being present here, okay, I could rock with that, right? And that's a good sign coming into a friendship, but also validating a friendship that you already have by even though you have a friendship with someone and it might be for a long time, imagine how good it makes that person feel, or even how good it makes you feel, that that person is still, even though they know you, they're still taking the time to put everything to the side to focus directly on you.
Yeah. So I like to change it up and say make uninterrupted time to connect. Make
Mm.
uninterrupted time to connect. And you hit it there. You hit it right on the head, bro. Is man, just take that phone and even if both of y'all are phone addicts, whoever you with,
Yeah, that's a fact.
boyfriend, girlfriend, homeboy, BFF, like man, let's just take 10 minutes to put our phones down, chop it up.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Now, if y'all just on some leisure sports bar, that's different. But if it's calling for that where y'all are really dialoguing, put it down to show your undivided attention and then make that time really count because we never know if we'll get it back with that person.
that's a
We
fact,
never know.
bro. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. And so I think that's number one, y'all. The number one thing is as Wayne said, making time is cool. So not just saying, yo, let's go out to eat, yo, let's go this, like, but when you get there, make sure that you all are spending that quality time undistracted and uninterrupted, right? So number two, bro, is set and respect boundaries. And as I'm reading through all of these things, what's bugging me out is the fact that we've touched on pretty much throughout all these episodes, we pretty much touched on each and every one of these. You know what I'm saying? So this was a perfect way to recap what we've been talking about. But set and respect boundaries. And shoot, our last episode last week we talked about setting expectations and setting standards. The reality of it is that what we have to realize is that, look, standards, like we talked about last week, bro, standards and setting boundaries, it saves relationships because it keeps us from overstepping boundaries. It keeps us from getting on each other's nerves, right? It keeps us from even having feelings hurt and taking things personally. What it does is it gives you a blueprint and a framework on how I expect you to treat me and how you expect me to treat you. And as friends, if we are truly willing to enter into this friendship, it's important that we have these things already set in place. So as you mentioned last week, bro, if I'm off or if I'm overstepping my boundaries, you can then have a sit down and be like, yo, bro, like, you know, you overstepped your boundary here. Like, you know what I mean? And vice versa. Yo, bro, like you kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like that was kind of, the way you said that or how you said that, that was kind of disrespectful. And it's not, and it doesn't blindside me and it doesn't blindside you because we both understand that we have set these expectations and these boundaries. What that makes me have to do now is through my relationship with you, right? It makes me be present in my relationship with you because now I'm thinking like, oh, hold on, nah, that's against what bro's talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even going to approach him that way because I know that's not necessarily how, you know what I mean? That's not going to resonate with him because I know how he flows. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, so setting is so to set and respect boundaries, bro. How powerful is that?
Yeah, you mentioned it, bro. You hit it right on. The the beauty behind that is just because you set the boundary and the expectation doesn't necessarily mean you don't have to be friends with a person. Just like you said, that means, okay, I know bro ain't on that, so I ain't gonna even bring it to him,
Yep. Yep.
and that's perfectly fine. But where you cross those boundaries is when you know bro ain't on that and you still try to put them on. You know what I mean? And so that's a beautiful thing, man, is when you come into something or you start establishing who you are as a person, what you value, what's important. Now that leaves it up to your friend or your counterpart to say, okay, I'm not gonna cross that line. I'm gonna stay in my place. I'm gonna play my position, and it just makes it a better friendship because you guys both understand one another, and you guys can flow. Now there could be growth throughout that time. You know what I mean? Um, it could be growth mentality wise. You might be a party, y'all might be party goers, but you don't party no more. Other person got to respect that. Or, you know, you might get saved in certain things you don't do that you used to do. And, it's through the course of life, you'll always change and readjust the expectations for yourself, what is respectful for you, and boundaries that you place for yourself for others to kind of be guided by and ruled by. Most definitely, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, 1,000%, man. 1,000%. And I think that leads perfectly into our to number three. Number three is communicate mindfully. Communicate
Mm.
mindfully. Communicate mindfully. Now, bro, this was powerful for me. This was powerful for me because I learned specifically from this because what it talks about is it says like when your friend is talking, shut up and let them speak. You know what I'm saying?
Say that one more.
When your friend is talking, shut up and let them speak. Give them the space to be able to communicate freely. And I know for me personally, like particularly with friends, I like I told you before, like I got two friends in particular that I still rock with from. I mean, we've been friends since the sixth or seventh grade. So we've been around each other for so long that I that we can finish each other's thoughts. You know what I'm saying? But the reality of it is, or even though I can, that doesn't mean that I should, right? And shout out to my guy Randy Mason, man. He's a lyricist, man, and he said just because you have the right to doesn't make it right to. And I was like, and that's so powerful because just because you can doesn't always mean that you should, right? And and so this one was powerful for me, bro, because I have the tendency to do that. And I'm like, nobody likes to get talked over. Nobody likes because what that makes me feel is that you're not really listening. You're not really listening to my thought. You're not really trying to resonate with, and be compassionate about what it is that I'm saying and trying to express. You're basically just like, oh, I've heard this before, so I'm just gonna jump in and I'm gonna interrupt. And I think that is extremely disrespectful to that's extremely disrespectful to a friend either that you already have, or it's also disrespectful to somebody that even if you're coming into a relationship, they're like, yo, hold on, like, bro, like, shut up, like, let me say what I want to say, so that this way, once I say what I have to say, then you can chime in. So I think communicating mindfully says to me, like, no, again, be thoughtful and be intentional about giving people space to be able to communicate the way that they communicate, and don't automatically jump the gun and assume that you know what they're going to say and try to hop in and interject. but actually allow them to be able to express themselves freely without them having to worry about you cutting them off.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're a kid, like your parent.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
you want to say something, and your parent, you know, up, up, you know.
right. Nah, it's factual, bro.
So guys, we gotta just be more aware when our people are talking to us, man. That they just want you to vibe with them, and I think what happens, bro, we be wanting to just go ahead and get it out
Yeah,
instead of just processing what they're saying, because they might end up saying what we're about to say.
yeah,
And so, it's just really truly locking in to what that person is saying and just waiting on them, just waiting on them.
yeah. Just, just wait, and not because yo, if you think about it, man, it makes the person feel as if they have to rush, and it's almost like yo, like you rushing them, like
Yeah, yeah,
it's like you when you talking to somebody on the phone and they trying to go and you know what I mean, it's yep, yep, you know what I'm saying, like that they trying to rush you off the phone. You're like, oh man, all right, whatever, you know what I'm saying,
right.
you know what I mean, I ain't, so that was really really good, um, and that's I think, and not only is that that resonated with me because I was like, yeah, no, I have to be more mindful about my communication. I have to give people space to be able to communicate themselves because I can't assume that I know. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody, because you know, assumptions are never a good thing and could be extremely dangerous, man. Particularly when we're trying to build relationships. So,
Yeah. Let me get this number 4, bro.
yo,
Let me
yeah,
get this number
do
4.
your thing.
I got a great example. The fourth one is be open to feedback. Be open to
Mm.
feedback. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna add this little caveat in, bro. Is be open to feedback, but the person that's giving feedback, you have to know how your friend receives feedback. I'm gonna say it again.
Yes.
Be open to feedback, but the person that's delivering the feedback, you have to know how your friend is able to receive the feedback.
Yeah.
So you can't go to your friend if you know they're real sensitive. You can't just go. You know,
Yeah.
you have to gradually ease into the conversation. I remember when me and Pop was getting ready to lunch and munch, and I shot him off a graphic for our main graphic.
Oh,
Pop just came. Pop came back and said, "I'm gonna try some stuff." Pop didn't say, "Nah, I don't like that, bruh.
yeah.
What are
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
doing?" He didn't do that.
Yeah.
Pop said, "Let me try some stuff," and
Yeah.
what he came with was better than what we originally had.
Yeah.
And so he read where I was at because he's like, "Man, Wayne's on fire. I'm not gonna put the fire out. I'm
That's
gonna just say, let me come up with something."
yep.
And that was the best way for him to communicate to me at that time. And I was open to the feedback. I didn't get offended, say, well, you didn't like mine. No, I was open. And that was nonverbal feedback. You know what I mean? That
Mm.
was nonverbal feedback because he said, bro, I want to try, let me try it. And we were cool. And so
Yeah.
now we got a well-oiled machine because of feedback that he gave me, and I took it well.
Yeah.
And so, guys, we gotta. I'm not gonna say stop being sensitive, but you have to be open to receive. Because when you're not open to receive, the person that's wanting to deliver, they're gonna stop delivering. And there might be a point in time in your life where you really need that open and honest feedback. But because you shut it down so many times, that person or them people, they're not gonna want to give it to you because all they're gonna say is she don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
He really don't want the honest feedback. So why I'm gonna waste my time?
Man, you hit that thing on the head, and that is so true, bro. Being willing, that's big. Being
Yeah,
willing to receive it, man.
yeah,
Being willing to receive the feedback, and I think that comes from one, bro, not being so overly consumed with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Not being so overly consumed with yourself that you are hypersensitive about everything, and everything is an offense, an affront to your creativity or to your ideas. You know what I'm saying? Being mature enough to understand, and we're going to get to that, being mature enough to understand that my that just because I think it's dope don't mean that it's dope. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. You feel what I'm saying? And so I think, and even in that situation, I forgot about that. But you know what's so crazy, bro? I salute I salute you for handling it the way that you did. Right? One, being willing to take that. You know, be willing to even it was nonverbal, but like, okay, being open enough to say, all right, well, let's see. You know what I'm saying? Kind of let's see what happens. You feel what I'm saying? And not being so consumed with yourself and immature that it's like, oh, you took that as an offense or an affront to your idea, or, oh, I'm not valued. No, 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 no. It's not that you're not valued. That's not it. Like, don't automatically go to I'm not valued. Don't do that. Just understand that, okay, there may be a better way, possibly, right? And just
Right.
being open to the just being open to the possibility of there being something that maybe you just simply overlooked. It doesn't necessarily it doesn't mean that you're wrong. It doesn't mean that you whack. It don't mean it's nothing to take offense. It's nothing for you to take offense with. So nah, that was a perfect example, bro.
Bro, we have to go into every situation as if it's brand new, guys.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is that you can't, because something happened before in a previous situation or circumstance, doesn't necessarily mean that because the person that's giving you feedback that's their intent.
Yeah.
Like Pop said, you gotta get out of your pride to truly receive what's being delivered. If we on the same team, I know what you're giving is for the betterment of the team,
Yep.
or for the betterment of the friendship or the relationship or the movement. So it's not really about me, it's about us coming together as one,
100%.
seeing what's best for the unit. Once
100%.
you understand that it's about the unit and not necessarily my idea or my concept, then you guys are on the same page. Me, when we started Lunch and Munch, we both had ideas,
Mm-hmm.
but we was like, okay, which one's better?
Yeah.
You know,
That's
which
right.
one's better?
That's right.
And it
Yep.
took two individuals to say, okay, bro, we want the same thing.
Yep.
We might have our different ways we do it, but we want the same thing and we know what the goal is. When you know what the true goal is, that eases the pain from being so offended very easy. So
Yeah.
just keep that in mind, guys.
Yeah, no, that's no 100%, brother. 100%, man. And so easing into number 5. So number 5, let me get in my camera good. Number 5 is keep them accountable. Keep them accountable. Now this is a big one. And I got an example. I got another lunch and munch example. So we had hired when someone to Jerica to be our social media manager, right? And so Dwayne and I had built this platform from scratch, him and I, right? So, I was doing the graphics and we was doing, like, you know what I mean? And so it was difficult for me now once we actually passed this thing over to Jerica to kind of handle and give her creative kind of give her creative freedom to do it. It was difficult for me at first to totally just kind of let go, so to speak. And so it was one episode we had to post, and I was trying to edit that thing, and I was trying to get it up there, and it was just giving me crazy problems, and I was sweating, I was tight. Like we were supposed to post it at 12:30. I don't think I ended up posting until like 2 o'clock because I just had Wi-Fi problems and everything. And Wayne was like, "Yo, bro, like that's what we got Jericho for." He's like, yeah, like, yo, this is why we have Jericho. Like, yo, you gotta let her do what it is that she does. And I'm like, but yo, bro, and like I had all of these excuses as to why I had to keep my hands on it. But wait, but you was like, bro, like that's what we have Jericho for. Like that's what you got to let her do what she going to do. And what's so powerful about that though is that you could have just allowed me to continue to spin my wheels, right? Get frustrated, butt my head. Like you could have not said anything at all. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of like, all right, well, bro ain't gonna listen to me anyway, so it's whatever. But again, but what you did instead was you, and going back to your point, you knowing what I needed to hear. That was first of all, but knowing exactly how to relay that message to make sure that I remembered what it is that our goal was and what it is that we were trying to do. And in essence, you were holding me accountable to what it is that we said that we was going to do. And what we said we were going to do is we were going to hire Jerica to handle our social media. And I wasn't allowing her to do that. I had to keep my hands on it. So you said, "No, bro, like that's not what we said we was going to do. We said that we were going to hire her to take it over, and now like you are holding me accountable to what it is that we said that we were going to do." And as friends, that's what we have to do. As establishing a relationship and a friendship is also based, yes, it's not judgmental. You're not being judgmental towards a person. You're not being condemning towards a person, but you're not going to allow them to just be. You know what I'm saying? If Wayne see me going left, he gonna be like, bro, like, what's good? You know what I'm saying? If I see Wayne going left, I'm gonna be like, yo, Wayne, like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Because that a part of being a friend is not judging or condemning, accepting who you are, but also holding you accountable to who you say that you want to be, and also who as a friend I see in the potential in you as who you can be, and continuing to make sure that I hold you accountable to continue to press and continue to grow and not be complacent.
Pop, in that situation, I knew how, let me see how I can say it, bro. I knew what you were focusing on, but I knew you would have more impact if you let go of that to lock in on what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes into number 6, get to know them personally.
Yeah.
Get to know them personally. I know Pop, once he's locked in on just doing this, it's game over. But I knew you had 60% on this, 40%.
Yeah.
I knew if I could get you centered on this thing, we would blow this thing out the water easy. And that's when it comes to like, man, giving that feedback, but knowing who the person is
Yep.
that you're communing with,
Yeah.
that you're partnered up with, that you're in one with. Because when you know them, you're able to communicate, and you're able to hold that person accountable because you know what the goal is.
Yeah.
You know what the vision is. You're able to easily steer them back. And bro, I knew it because, we talked about it. Like we knew what the goal was to bring somebody in to do content creation.
Yep.
You know, we knew what the goal was. It said, we always said it'll ease us up so we can focus more on creating and adding value to the community. So that was my reason of saying, bro, that's what we got Jared for,
Yeah.
you know, because we knew that this would alleviate us from all that pressure of doing that so we could focus on continuing to add in value. It freed up so much, bro. And so if you don't know the person that you're being accountable to and
Yeah.
being accountable for, you know, you have to do it. It's so important. It's so important.
Yeah. No, bro. And so that was extremely, I think that's a big takeaway as far as the accountability, because I believe that the accountability piece is the great equalizer and balancer of our friendships, right? Friendship isn't all about telling you like you're not my friend just because you tell me what I like to hear, right? Like that doesn't qualify you as being a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like in my personal opinion, telling you what it is that you want to hear, and that goes right into number 6, getting to know you personally. Like not just not just saying that you're my friend, but knowing you personally, as we've been talking about up to this point, knowing who you are, knowing how you tick, knowing how you operate, but making it a point to know those things. You know what I mean? Making it a point to actually get to know you, to know the inner workings of who you are and how you operate. That in and of itself takes a lot of time, right? And so it's in that time, it's in that intentionality. It talks about here in the article, like, yo, if you have some, and me and Wayne, for those of you who don't know, like, we met on Instagram, like we met in person, doggone near a year into us actually doing, like, collaborating, and we actually met in person, and we live in two completely different states. So, but it talks about here in the article, like, yo, show up to celebrations, go to birthdays, you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
know, go to graduations, whatever that is. Make, become a person who is actually knit into the fabric of who this person is. You know what I'm saying? And being intentional about that, because it's in that, you having that intel and that inside information that then helps you to be able to hold that person accountable, to be able to know exactly how to communicate with that person, right? Which then blends itself into this this blossoming of this relationship that is powerful and beneficial to both parties. The quote I love here, bro, it says, doing all we can to promote our friends' happiness is better than continually drink is better than to is happiness is better than to continually drink to his prosperity. So
Wow.
doing all we can to promote our friend's happiness is better than to continually drink to his prosperity. So not just celebrating you when you win, but actually being a part of the process of you winning. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
doing all you can to be able to do that. I think that's super key, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But that goes into how the lunch and munch came about, bro. It's like, man, I knew I knew what you wanted to do, and I wanted to see how could I add some value, bro.
That's it. Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted to see, bro,
that's it.
how can I help?
That's it,
How can I help? And
bro.
and we helping each other.
That's a fact. And no, and listen, loved ones, like, lunches. That's exactly how Lunch and Munch started. Like Wayne literally DM'd me like, "Yo, I see what you're doing, bro. Like, let's do something together. How can I help?" Like, that was the conversation 2 years ago that started this ball rolling. So, and in the process, we've gotten to know each other personally, and we've been able to do that across state lines, right? We in two completely different states. We only talk to each other on the phone, like, you know what I'm saying? It's offline conversations, and we've been able to build and align on so many things and beliefs and values and core values and all of that type of stuff. So if we can do it across state lines, you most certainly can do it with your friend that lives 3 blocks down. You know what I'm saying? And lives in the same state, lives 15-20 minutes away from you, right? And so these are, and again, these are not just things that are crucial to maintaining relationships, but these things are also crucial when you're looking to develop relationships as well, right? And that brings us into number 8. In all that you're getting, get understanding. But this right here is foundational. Build trust. We have to build trust, right? And it says practicing honesty and transparency keeps confidences, and showing genuine interest in your friend's well being are key to establishing trust. Do what you say you're going to do, and keep your promises or negotiate it if you can't keep them. Bro, bro, that says it all. I'm telling you, don't just assume because you're my friend, Wayne. I can't just assume because you're my friend that I can tell you that I'm going to do something and not do it and just expect for you to understand. I can't
Out.
do that, right? I can't just assume that you're going to be okay with me not showing up. Yo, bro, I'm gonna be there at 10, and then I don't show, I don't call, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Oh, matter of fact, I'm gonna come at 1 instead. Like, I can't just automatically assume because you're my friend that that's gonna be okay. And I think that, and I think that we have to be careful of that, because you have that you become so comfortable with someone that you could become complacent. And when you become so you become so comfortable that you become complacent, and then then those things that you should be doing, right, to maintain the relationship, those things kind of tend to fall by the wayside. And it's not that big of a deal anymore, and it should be a big deal, because those are going to be the very same things that your friend now expects for you to do, and you're no longer doing it, and that's going to cause some rift in your friendship, because it's like, yo, like, what happened? Like,
Yeah,
what happened? Did I do something right? Are they not interested in our friendship anymore, and that's why they could be so lackadaisical about the way
right.
that they approach the things that they said they're going to do, and that causes distrust. So I heard Mike Todd say that it takes he said it takes, let me see, you lose trust in buckets, but you gain it back in drips. You lose trust in buckets, but you gain it back in drips. So it's very important that we take that in consideration, that once we have built trust in our relationships, we have to do the things that are necessary to maintain that trust.
Man, bro, you said it all, and I just add this one thing, man, is within that trust is confidentiality, bro, where
Mm-hmm.
if we dialoguing about some things that might be near and dear to each other, that we not, if we still have, friends in close proximity, we not sharing,
Yeah.
or even that we not telling anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless you saying, bro, tell so and so so they can pray for me.
Yeah.
But you guys could be out, and then you could be like, oh, this bro you said, man, was going through this. Remember you was telling me? And I'm looking at you like, bro,
Yeah.
And so we gotta keep things in confidence, man.
Yeah.
Especially that's part of that bond. Like that's wear and tear, man, when you don't keep your word, or you're keeping the word somebody give you in confidence. That's wear and tear on that person.
Yeah, bro.
You lose trust, and not only that, but it hurts that person. You know what I mean? When you break that code of confidence and trust, that goes a long ways when you can hold true to that.
Yeah, bro. And I think too, just, and I'm glad you mentioned that, man, because I think one of the most cowardly things that you can do, even if a relationship goes sour, is to now spill the things from that relationship that was told to you in confidence. I think that's one of the most cowardly things that you can do, to now leverage somebody's transparency and leverage that to now discredit that individual. Like, that's just really, really, really whack to me. You know what I'm saying? And that is a cowardly move. And when you're building a friendship, the beautiful thing about friendship is the purity of it. And like you said, bro, making that connection, being able to share things with you in confidentiality, and having a safe space to know that, yo, like you're a solid dude. So even if our relationship didn't work out for whatever reason, or our friendship didn't work out for whatever reason, there's nothing there's no reason for me to be like, yo, Daxon, I shouldn't have told bro X, Y, and Z. I shouldn't have told sis X, Y, and Z. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that you got to share everything with everybody. Like, I still believe there's certain things that it should just be between you and God. You know what I'm saying? And but at the same time, I think it's very, very, very cowardly if you are the type of person that can't be trusted with information, and you're not mature enough to be able to hold on to that, even if the relationship goes south. So I challenge you all that, I challenge you that, if that is the case, if you're a safe space for somebody, remain a safe space for them, even if the relationship don't work out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, I'm glad that you mentioned that, bro, because that's something that's a pet peeve of mine, bro. That's a pet peeve of mine. But we ain't go, that is a whole nother show in and of itself. That's a, but let's go to 9. So 9 is resolve disagreements in an emotionally mature way. Bro, we mentioned this last week. Yo, we grown, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we grown. And look, the reality of it is that as adults, even children, we're gonna have conflict. We're not gonna see eye to eye on everything, right? But everything does not have to be, we don't have to make mountains out of every single molehill. There there there
Yeah,
is a certain way in which we have to conduct ourselves that is productive, especially if you're looking to maintain the friendship. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking to maintain the friendship, there's a certain way that you deal with disagreements, man, in an emotionally mature way. Take a step back to think about, like, even with my wife, I say, my wife says certain things to me, and I'm like, in the moment, that joint get right underneath my skin. Like, don't pass go, do not collect $200. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it gets right to this, right underneath, and hits the nerve just right. But what I have to then do is, from an emotionally mature space, I have to take a step back and say, yo, is anything that she's saying relevant? Is anything that she's saying, it doesn't make sense? Is there any truth in what she's saying? And if there's any truth in what she's saying, no matter how it is that she might have said it, I have to be emotionally mature enough to extract that truth and resonate and chew on that truth, right? And then figure out a way to, for the lack of a better term, make that right, make that wrong a right. You know what I'm saying? And so but because we're grown, we have to, and we talked about doing me work too, because a lot of this stuff is it has to start with you. But what I'm saying is that every single thing is not an offense, man. Every
yeah.
single thing is not every single thing is not something that is a deal breaker that you that you no longer got to be that you know that you cut off ties and relationships with. And so I think that it's very important that we excuse me, that we are willing to at least hear each other out and be willing to take a moment to digest, because if you, bro, you my friend, if you telling me something, then clearly there's a reason why you're telling it to me. You know what I'm saying? Whether I can
Yeah.
understand it or see it or not, there's a reason why you're expressing that to me. So, if nothing else, because you're my guy, because you're my friend, I at least need to hear it out. You know what I'm saying? And then take a step back to analyze whether or not there's actually any truth or validity to what it is that you're saying.
You know, bro, I just put it like this, man. Is it really worth the friendship?
Yeah,
You know,
that's it.
is this disagreement really worth the friendship? If I look at this thing 10 years from now and we not friends no more, like, man, because bro said this, did that really cost me
Yeah,
a friend,
yeah,
or a relationship?
yeah,
Was it really worth it?
yeah,
That's what you got to ask yourself. It's like, in the midst of me being upset or mad in the moment, is it really worth me losing what we built 2, 3, 4, 10, 15,
yeah.
20 years? Is it worth it?
Is it worth it? 100%, man. 100%. And so, number 10, lastly, is be a positive force. Be a positive force. And at the end of the day, we started this series because we wanted to talk about and to learn for ourselves, and also just to share how to do friendships in a healthy way. And I think number 10 sums it all up. Be a positive force. And what does that mean? That could mean different things for different people. But for me, it means that I'm supposed to be the bridge that helps you to get from where you are to where it is that you're trying to be. That means that I'm supposed to be your cheerleader. That means that I'm supposed to be your support system. I'm supposed to be your safe space, right? I'm supposed to applaud you when you are up, and I'm supposed to encourage you and challenge you and even hold you accountable when when you're facing challenges and you're not necessarily up at that particular point. And so the very presence, being a positive force, means to me those things, and also that in our presence, when we are the mere fact of us being connected to each other, it automatically elevates both of us. It automatically puts a totally a higher standard on where we currently are, and we can work towards something greater together, right? And we're with each other every step of the way. That's what it means to me to be a positive force, and to be a friend, to maintain a friendship. That's what that means to me, man.
Bro, you hit it right there, man. It's just being bro, we all have bad days. We all have rough moments. Being a positive force is just being that extra lift when your friend or that person needs it,
Yeah.
and knowing when they need it, and being there in that moment so you can be there to assist them getting over that hump or that situation or circumstance. But that's all the positive force is you don't want to make two negatives. You want to be a positive. When that person ain't just feeling it, you want to be that positive influence to help inspire and lift them up during that time.
And that's it. Hey, and this has been another episode of the Lunch and Munch Meetup. You already know this is the most dangerous virtual lunchroom on the planet. We do this 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single Tuesday. So tell a friend and tell a friend. And if you have not already, go ahead and click on that subscribe button, as well as that bell notification, so you can be notified every single time we go live. You could also hit us up on IG. You can go follow our page over there. We put all the highlights on our IG page. You can DM us and let us know that you caught us on the Lunch and Munch if you're new to the page, and let us know one of your takeaways. And of course, blow up these comments. Let us know what one of these 10 that we share with you, which one of these resonated with you the most, and how you're going to apply it to either you building your relationships or friendships, or maintaining friendships that you already have. We thank y'all so much for tapping in with us. There is no Lunch and Munch without y'all. And listen, stay tuned, because we're about to enter into a whole new series. We not gonna let you know what it is just now, but y'all gotta stay tapped in and stay tuned in, because I promise you, if you got any value from this series, trust me, the next series, you're not gonna want to miss it. So we thank y'all so very much. Y'all enjoy. We're gonna see y'all next week. And in the meantime, we love you. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it. Peace.
Go.